Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I was trying to record this on my VHS camera like 10 times, but I guess we'll just have to do the shitty fake VHS effect. Hey, what's up, guys? Nick Hammond here with the CCR, or the Creative Critical Reflection, as the cool kids say it.
How do you do, fellow kids?
And I'll be discussing and reflecting upon my portfolio/film opening project, Skateboards and Monsters. So the first question asks, how does your product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues? Skateboards and Monsters is heavily influenced by the indie genre aesthetic, using various conventions such as retro nostalgic look, 90s fashion, fisheye lenses, skateboarding, teens being teens, and most importantly, indie music. I want to follow these conventions as these are the most important frameworks for the overall indie look and feel that is most popular these days. If you search up hashtag indie or hashtag indie kid on social media platforms such as Instagram or TikTok, you'll find that this aesthetic has a very specific look to it and recurring elements in it that make it very distinct. Especially during the coronavirus pandemic, this idea of being indie has grown in popularity almost as a counter-reaction to the stagnant and boring life that quarantine has brought upon teens for the past year or so. This genre was really founded on the idea of romanticizing teenage life, or bland aspects of life for that matter, which normally would go unnoticed or unappreciated, especially in today's world of technology and the internet. Skateboards and Monsters is very representative of this idea, with the opening showing teenagers just having fun, doing things they shouldn't be doing behind their parents' backs, skateboarding, and overall living in the peak of their adolescence, with the upbeat score along with the jump cuts representing the excitement and fast-paced nature of teenage life. Although not shown directly in the opening, Skateboards and Monsters is a story about friendship, as three friends have their last adventure before heading off to their new chapter of their lives as adults. The techniques and conventions used overall reflect this childlike wonder, which the characters so desperately want, as shown through the indie genre. How does your product engage with audiences, and how would it be distributed as a real media text? The film is targeted towards teens 14 through 19 years old, incorporating various elements representative of this demographic's lifestyle and interests, making this film relatable and engaging for the target audience. As mentioned, the indie genre aesthetic used in the film is very appealing to this audience of teenagers, especially those moving onto the later stages of their adolescence, gaining more independence and exploring new and exciting aspects of their changing world. For example, the film opens up with three teens opening up the trunk of their car and discussing the potential dangers of drinking the newly released Monster Energy drink. After some discussion, they decide to take the risk and drink the beverage anyways, brushing off the risk of drinking so as being a pussy. Whether it be experimenting with drugs or drinking an energy drink that your mommy said was dangerous, this reflects how teenagers are always trying to break rules and put themselves at risk for the sake of excitement and stimulation. A situation most teens can relate to, even if it's not as hardcore as breaking mommy's rules and drinking a Monster Energy drink. If this film were to be distributed as a real media text, I would distribute it via YouTube and Instagram TV. YouTube, as most people know, is a very good site to distribute digital media for free and to a large audience depending on how engaging the content is. In addition, creators can make money from Google AdSense, which allows for profit to be made from an upload. YouTube also has an advanced algorithm which recommends videos which it believes you will like, allowing for the video to be brought to the audience without mass marketing. The second platform, Instagram TV, is a less popular option, but it allows for the target audience to directly engage with the video as well. By using hashtags, users who like posts with those hashtags or related hashtags will be shown the video on their Instagram Explore page, or if they directly search for the hashtags such as hashtag indie or hashtag skateboarding. Additionally, Instagram rewards users for using their new features such as Instagram TV or Instagram Reels, attracting a larger audience than a typical Instagram post or video on YouTube and TikTok. Especially since my current following on Instagram consists of people who enjoy the indie aesthetic and retro aesthetics, the piece would be distributed by the people who watch the video, since it's not very frequent they see something like this, so they might want to share. So that would work to my advantage. How did your production skills develop through this project? I'm going to be honest, I really didn't have a plot for this film until 2 days before filming it. Although I knew what I wanted the general concept to be, I didn't really know much about the details, except that a group of teens were going to be fighting some monsters in a hobo hole while also somehow skateboarding. If anything, this project taught me how to work with different people and develop a concept into an actual story. Although that seems like a trivial essential question when making a film, when you're working by yourself with a far-off deadline, it's easy to lose pace of your project so that you're not able to finish it by the deadline. And like most teens, procrastination is a major problem, which impedes your ability to finish the project on time, which I struggled with a lot. But I feel like working on this film without any teammates who had the same deadline as me really helped with my own self-devotion to my film projects. It taught me to plan ahead of schedule and schedule meetings with crews, and most importantly, deal with my own tendency to forget about my projects and leave them in the eternal sea of failed works. How did you integrate technologies, software, hardware, and online into this project? The film opening was shot on a VHS camcorder, as I felt it perfectly reflected the retro nostalgic look indicative of the indie aesthetic. While most people would use some shitty app to achieve this effect, I wanted a real deal. Although it makes editing and transferring footage a pain in the ass, by shooting on an actual VHS, I think it really adds that nice authenticity to the piece, which differentiates it from most other attempts at the indie aesthetic. Additionally, the fisheye look seen in the video is also not a filter, but an authentic lens attachment. It was kind of annoying to put together, as the threads for the camera lens and the fisheye lens were different sizes, so I ended up just taping them together. I also bought a skate cam rig, which allows me to easily film on my skateboard, allowing me to get some of the cool shots you see in the opening, as well as adding to the authenticity of the skater culture represented in the piece. And besides the filming aspect, I also had to seamlessly cut down the song used in the project to around a minute so that it would fit in the opening, as the original was around 4 minutes long, and obviously that can't fit in there. I essentially found where the lyrics of the song repeated, and I overlapped those parts in After Effects, and I used a crossfade to blend them together so that it was pretty seamless. And overall, the newly mixed audio turned out pretty good, and it's pretty hard to notice where the crossfades happen. While many aspects of my project were last minute, I believe the final piece is definitely worthy of recognition, and it definitely set me in a better mindset for future film projects which I plan to tackle in the future. Thank you for listening to my CCR, and thank you to Cambridge for presenting me with the opportunity to express myself with this creative outlet. But most importantly, stay steezy, kids. I'll see you later. Or something. I don't